Tonight, at some point, you will become completely useless. Not emotionally, I mean biologically. You will close your eyes, lose awareness of the room, drool with confidence, maybe make a noise that sounds like a broken accordion, and for several hours, you will basically be warm meat with wifey nearby. Now, remove the bedroom. Remove the locked door. Put yourself in a thin tent in the middle of a forest with only a few millimeters of nylon between you and animals that can run faster, bite harder, smell better, and see in the dark. A black bear's sense of smell is estimated to be around 7 times stronger than a bloodhound's. A mountain lion can leap more than 15 feet vertically and cover about 40 feet horizontally in a single jump. Meanwhile, your biggest defense is a zipper. So here's the question. Why don't predators just eat sleeping humans all the time? Because if nature worked like horror movies, camping would have ended centuries ago. We would have invented hotels and never looked back. The real answer is more interesting. Predators don't usually avoid us because we are physically unbeatable. They avoid us because over thousands of generations, humans became one of the scariest animals on Earth. And the wild remembers. Start with the uncomfortable truth. Humans are not just prey. We are predators. Very strange predators, yes. Predators who get sunburned, lose their keys, and panic when their phone battery reaches 3%. But still predators. Our ancestors have been hunting large animals for roughly 2 million years. Homo erectus was already using stone tools and group strategies long before cities, writing, or agriculture existed. By around 300,000 years ago, Homo sapiens appears in the fossil record. By around 12,000 years ago, at the end of the last ice age, many giant mammals, mammoths, giant ground sloths, saber-toothed cats, and cave bears were disappearing. Climate change played a role, but human hunting pressure was part of the equation. When humans arrived in new territories, many large animals suddenly had a very bad millennium. Other predators adapted. Not by reading history books. Wolves were not keeping spreadsheets. Evolution did the work. The lions that approached human camps too confidently were killed. The wolves that treated villages like snack bars were hunted. The leopards that avoided our smell, noise, and fire had a better chance of surviving long enough to reproduce. Over many generations, caution became instinct, and modern studies show this fear is real. In 2017, researchers from Santa Cruz tested mountain lions in California by playing sounds near their kills. When pumas heard human voices, they fled in 83% of the experiments. Not gunshots, not explosions, just people talking. Imagine being a top predator, hearing someone discuss weekend plans, and thinking, absolutely not, I'm leaving. Some pumas even abandoned food they had already killed. For a predator, a kill is calories, energy, survival. Leaving it behind is like spending 6 hours cooking dinner and then running away because your neighbor started a podcast. So when a predator smells humans near a campsite, it is not thinking, delicious. It is often thinking, risky. That brings us to the second layer. You smell weird. To humans, a campsite smells like pine trees, smoke, socks, and maybe instant noodles. To a predator, it is a chemical horror show. You smell like soap, shampoo, sunscreen, insect repellent, nylon, deodorant, toothpaste, plastic packaging, and the chicken-flavored snack you swore you would not eat at 11 p.m. Wild predators are highly specialized. A wolf's hunting system is tuned to deer, elk, and other hoofed animals. A lion's instincts are calibrated to zebra, wildebeest, buffalo, and antelope. They know how those animals move, panic, kick, and fall. You do not fit the template. You walk upright. You smell artificial. You sleep in a strange fabric cave. You might have tools. You might have friends nearby. You might suddenly wake up screaming like a haunted microwave. To a predator, that is not easy meal. That is unknown variable. And in the wild, unknown variables can kill you. Predators are not reckless. That is one of Hollywood's biggest lies. A serious injury in the wild can be a death sentence. A broken tooth, damaged paw, infected bite, or one bad kick from prey can mean starvation. There is no predator hospital. No paid medical leave. No take 2 weeks off and come back stronger. Every hunt is a risk-reward calculation. Is this animal familiar? Can I kill it quickly? Can it injure me? Is there easier food nearby? A sleeping human fails the calculation. Too strange. Too unpredictable. too socially dangerous, because humans are group animals, and predators hate group complications. For most of our history, humans did not sleep alone. We slept in bands, camps, families, and tribes. If one person woke up and shouted, others woke up too. Suddenly, the predator was dealing with 10 angry primates, holding sticks, stones, fire, and very personal opinions. And speaking of fire, this may be the greatest anti-predator technology ever invented. Evidence for hominin fire use goes back at least around 1 million years at Wonderwork Cave in South Africa, and newer analyses suggest possible repeated fire use there between about 1.07 and 1.79 million years ago. Fire gave warmth. It cooked food. It extended the day. It created social time at night. But it also sent a message. Smoke means danger. Flames mean danger. Heat means danger. Most animals instinctively avoid fire because for millions of years, animals that did not avoid fire were converted into archaeology. A campfire turns a weak, sleeping human into part of a larger threat signal. Smoke, light, heat, noise, group presence, and strange smells. Basically, a prehistoric security system with better ambiance. Now, none of this means predators never attack humans. They do, but attacks usually happen when the normal rules break. In 1898, the famous Tsavo lions in Kenya attacked railway workers for months. Early reports claimed 135 deaths, while later scientific estimates reduced the likely number closer to 35. Either way, terrifying. But those lions were unusual. At least one had serious dental damage, and local ecological pressures may have reduced normal prey. The Champawat tigress, killed in 1907, was linked to an estimated 436 human deaths in Nepal and India. Afterward, she was found to have broken canine teeth, probably from an old gunshot wound. She likely turned to humans because injury made her usual prey harder to kill. That pattern repeats again and again. Old predators, injured predators, starving predators, or animals that have lost their fear of humans because people fed them. This is why wildlife experts repeat one rule like it is sacred: do not feed wild animals. When animals associate humans with food, the ancient fear system gets scrambled. A bear that learns campsites mean snacks becomes dangerous. Not evil, not villainous, just trained by human stupidity, which historically is one of our most renewable resources. There is one last twist. Humans have made predators so afraid of us that our presence can reshape whole ecosystems. A 2019 study showed that fear of humans reduced the movement and activity of animals like pumas, bobcats, skunks, and opossums. That fear then changed the behavior of smaller mammals such as deer mice and wood rats because their own predators were less active. In other words, you can walk through a landscape and change the food web without touching anything. So why don't predators usually eat sleeping humans? Because you are not just a soft target in a sleeping bag. You are the descendant of fire makers, tool users, group hunters, persistence walkers, loud communicators, and deeply unpredictable apes with a 2 million year reputation problem. To a predator, you are not automatically dinner. You are a risk. And in the wild, the smartest predator is usually the one that survives by not taking unnecessary risks. So the next time you are lying in a tent, listening to branches crack in the dark, yes, that fear in your chest is ancient. It helped your ancestors survive. But remember, the animal outside is probably afraid too. And honestly, considering what humans have done to the planet, fair enough. Stay connected for the next episode. Cairo is here every week with historical facts explained simply because the past is weird, terrifying, and somehow always about us.